Coming up is part 1 of the course from makethattrack.com. As a member of our website, you get access to all the links, presets, samples and loops, and also project files, including MIDI, for all the tutorials on the site. Enjoy this free tutorial and be sure to check us out at makethattrack.com.
Hey everyone, welcome to part 1 of our FL Studio Electro House tutorial. In this video we're just going to be setting up our project a little bit, and then we're going to be creating a simple drum beat. So the first thing we're going to do to set up our project is change our tempo here. By default, FL Studio is going to have us at 130. We're just going to bring this down by 2 by clicking and dragging. We're going to go to 128. Alright, and so now that that's set, we're going to set up a custom folder on the browser here on the left so that we can pull our samples and our MIDI clips more easily. So let's go into Options, and then we'll go into File Settings. And then right here we have a bunch of custom folders that we can set. So I'll just click on this folder icon here, and then we'll navigate to the folder where we have our sample saved. So I have mine saved in this folder called Assets. So I'm going to select that folder and then hit OK. And it's going to pop up here. And now I can close this window. And on the left on our browser, we'll see Assets pop up here. And also I can click on that. And now we have all of our assets for this project. Okay, now that that's all set up, what we're going to do first with our drums is we're going to create just a simple drum beat. And we're going to keep things really simple with the drums because within this genre, the rhythms don't tend to be very complex. So what we're going to do is we're going to set up what's called an FPC, which is a native device within FL Studio, which is going to allow us to assign a bunch of audio clips to pads that we can then use to play within a MIDI keyboard, a MIDI controller, or we can just use a MIDI clip in order to write a drum beat in. So in order to get an FPC in here, we're going to right click somewhere on the pattern window here and choose Insert, FPC. Okay, and that's going to pop up the FPC device for us here. And by default, it's going to have a bunch of samples in here already. And so what we want to do is clear this out. So let's go to this top left menu here. And we're going to go to Presets, Empty. So now we have a bunch of empty pads. And so what I can do now is go into our samples folder, go into drums, and then we're just going to drag these 4 samples onto a different pad. So let's grab kick, drag that to the bottom left here, and then snare. We'll have a clap, and an open hat. Okay, so now I can click on these pads to play them. Or we can go into our piano roll and start writing in a drum beat. So I can close this, and I can right click on this FPC here and choose piano roll, and that's going to open up the score here. And what I'm going to do actually is I'm just going to go ahead and delete this FPC because I already have an FPC set up here with the same samples inside. So I'm going to right click and choose piano roll again. And that's going to open up our MIDI score editor here. And so if I want to draw in a note, all I have to do is click. So as you can see on the left, we have our snare, our kick, our clap, and our open hat, each tied to a different note on the keyboard. Okay, so I can just click to create a kick drum, and we'll just draw in 4 of those. Okay, and now we'll do the same for the rest of our instruments here. Okay, so now that we have our basic pattern written in here, we can go back into the FPC device by just clicking on this here, what I've named drums. It's going to open up the FPC. And now I can go back into each of our sounds and adjust the volumes or the panning. So I've already done this for a couple instruments. So if I click on the clap here, you'll see that this volume knob right here, I've already edited to turn the volume down a little bit, but I think it's still a little bit too loud. So I'm going to click and drag that down. Now that's a little bit better volume. And aside from the volume knob, we also have a panning knob and a pitch knob if I wanted to change either of those attributes. But for now, I think everything's good. So I'm just going to go ahead and close that. And we'll close our score editor here. And now what I want to do is draw this into our song timeline. So I'm just going to go over to this window on the right, and we'll have our paintbrush tool, and I can just click and drag to draw as many clips in as I want. Let's go ahead and draw in 16 for now. We'll just zoom in there. So now if I want to play from this song timeline instead of the pattern window, I just need to go over next to this play button and choose song. Now when I hit the play button, it's going to play on this window. All right, and that's going to pretty much do it for our drums. In the next video, we're going to be setting up the instruments for our track.
We hope you've enjoyed part 1 of this course. To continue, please go to the website and select a membership to suit your needs. Welcome to MakeThatTrack.com. At Make That Track, we provide everything you need to make your favourite style of music from start to finish. Our Getting Started series will show a complete beginner where to start and what they need to do to start making music out of the box. Once the basics are grasped, you can learn how to make the genre of your choice with everything that you need in the process. Want to know how to make that elusive sound from your favourite producer's tracks? Check out our How to Make That Sound tutorials. We take the guesswork out and show you exactly what you need to do to get that sound within a few simple steps. With tips on arrangement, mixing, mastering and effects, you'll have everything you need to prepare your tracks to send to a record label and to play in the clubs. Get everything you need to make the music you love today.